Hey crafty friends, welcome back to the Old Paper Lady. I'm Lori. Hi to new viewers, welcome. I hope you stay around. Hope you decide to subscribe and like any of my videos that you would. What I'm going to do today is we covered this office envelopes with fabric that we got from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to glue up and just finish the edges on that. I'm going to glue my ties to it. I'm going to show a few viewers who had some questions about what I used and how much how I put my lace on. And basically what is the size of it would be depending on the size of your paper. So you would do, if it's a regular full size, 8.5 by 11, we're in America, so that would be our letter size. Whatever the inches are, what is it? It's an A4, I think it's centimeters. I'm not sure how that measures overseas in like the UK area. So I would refer you to watch maybe Shabby Dabby Doodah. She's really good about measurements for the UK and areas of where they measure in centimeters. The words aren't coming, I'm sorry y'all. But this would be a standard letter, so it's a full size, so it's 8.5 by 11, and I always do a full length, so all of mine will be cut at 8.5, and I just run just a bead right down the edge of the paper, you know, just enough to catch the glue. But I'll show you that in a minute. So right now, I'm going to take this, because we glued them together, the envelopes, after we covered with our fabric. And at the time, I didn't know, because I was thinking that I was going to take this lace and run it around it like that. And you can glue it in there or sew it in if you prefer, but I think I'm just going to leave the lace bits on the edge pages. So I'm going to go back through right quick. I'm going to open this up. You're not going to hurt this envelope. And I'm going to just run a bead of Fabri-Tac down in here. And we're going to shut this gap up in between these envelopes, where we had previously left it open. If we had decided, you know, that we wanted to put lace around the border of it, that would be a good option to leave it like that. And then all you're going to do is just press it close. That's it. I mean, it's not that, it's fairly simple. Just press it close. Make sure that, you know, you got glue up to the edge of it, and just press it together. Let Fabri-Tac grab it and hold it. You don't want to load it up too much, because when you do, it's going to, you know, volcano out the end of it. So I'm just going to give it a good little press down on either end. I'm going to come on this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to open that envelope up. Try not to glue my ribbons for my ties down to it. I'm just going to go right up against the edge of it. Just back and forth down in there. Whoops, not on the outside. Did you see what I just did? Well, I just made a mess. Got a little glue happy there, but that's alright, it'll dry clear. Ain't no big thing. And then, so see over here where you've got this bit's a little close to the edge already. So you just want to put a good amount in there, you know. And you keep your glue bottle wiped off so it doesn't get glued up while you're pressing and working on it. And just lay it down. Sure you give it a good firm push it down and get the glue spread so it'll stay together. Now I'm just gluing the top and bottom at the moment. The because I want to put my ribbons in here before I glue that side down. And that's why I'm just doing the top and bottom at the moment. Get good contact on that glue. Just go back over here and work the side. And you can tell I've been working on this journal for a bit off and on today. I've got inked up hands. I changed the printer in my ink and got ink on me. I've been doing multitasking today. Alrighty, so now what I want to do, so I'm going to lay my journal with the outside cover up is what I'm doing. Let me get this in a little bit in view here. Get my papers out of the way. Alright, so let's get it in view. Alright, so what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to lay my journal outside up. And you're going to take your ribbon bits, however you want to put them. If you want to put 2 or 3 on there, if you want to do ribbon or what is that? Sorry silk. That's really good to tie up your journals. So I'm going to have it kind of like gaped open here on the sides, see, because I haven't glued it down yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a good strip right here, and I'm going to stick my ribbon in there, and I'm going to glue up into it, and I'm going to try to slide this over where I can get it. Woo! Drop it in the floor. Look yonder. Oh goodness. But I'm going to try my best to get this where it is somewhat in the middle. So it's 8.5, so you want to go, it'll be 4 and a quarter, I do believe. Four and a quarter should be on both sides. Well, that should be and ain't a should be and is it? Alright, we're going to call it about 4.5. And we'll let that ride. 4.5. And it's going to be right here where this B bit comes out. Right there. Right at the 13 is where I need to put it. Okay. So I hope everybody's doing good this evening. Said I've been doing a little bit of printer work and just a little bit of crafting along on here and making a few bits here and there, shoot a few videos, trying to get ahead for the week. Just hanging out in my craft room today, pretty much. That's what I've been up to. Avoiding housework. Pretty much. This is basically what I've been up to today. Just to... And I kind of want that a little bit set off. There we go. Oh yeah, that grabbed good. Okay. So I'm going to just press that down. And that's it. So I kind of wanted it where, you know, you can see both of the ribbons. And I don't think I did that quite too good, but there we go. So it's going to offset it just a hair. Okay, let's raise it up and see what we got. So see how I did that? I just glued a little piece right here on that Fabri-Tac for the ribbon, and then I just finished gluing in around it and just pressed it down. And see, then you don't have that gap around it anymore, all the way around. And then if you find some pieces that want to pucker up on you, just go back and hit it with a little bit more Fabri-Tac. So you know I didn't wipe that off and it's over here volcanoing on me. Alrighty, so and I got some extra glue bits splooshed out here. Let me get that up real quick. Even though it's gonna it'll dry, I just don't want it catching my ribbon and gluing it down to nothing else while I'm working on it. And I did smush it out. Come on now. Quit messing with it. Well, now is my ribbon going to be crooked? Probably. Yeah, it's going to hang a little crooked. But I'm about to fix it. I'm about to fix that. Where's my little spatula bit? Let me get this little one here and straighten that right on up. That is somewhat annoying, isn't it? I got the roller out and everything and centered it up and then messed it up trying to get the extra glue off of it. What is that reading? Okay. There, just pat that extra bit of glue off of there. That other stuff will dry. Don't pull on your ribbon. Alrighty. First little tidbit, don't pull on your ribbon while your glue is not completely dry. There you go. Alrighty. I think that's going to work. So then I'm going to flip it over here, let that dry a little bit, and try my best not to pull on it no more. I'm going to take this bit. So it doesn't really matter. This is non-directional and these are going both ways. So hey, we're in the clear. Pretty good on that. Okay, and I think this is going to run right below here, below that. So we did, caught it 4.5 was on the even. So yeah, it needs to be right here, right at the start of that. This bit a little bit up above it, and see, it probably would have helped if I hadn't cut it so extra, but I wanted, you know, where you could have a big pretty bow. Hang on for that. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up and I'm going to run a strip back up in here and over to the side here, and then I'm going to come right along the edge of it, just as close as I can to the edge where it's not going to puddle out. Take this, lay it down in there as smooth as we can get it. And I think what I done was I was expecting that Fabri-Tac to grab both of them at the same time and forgetting that I had overlapped them, and that was not going to work out. And that's how come that one shifted on me, because I didn't have Fabri-Tac in between the pieces of ribbon. And that's what happened to me over here. But that's all right. We fixed it. We opened it back up and put a little bit more Fabri-Tac on it. There we go. I'm going to hold that in place. I'm going to put a little bit more Fabri-Tac on the top of that. And while that other had already started drying and taking hold and getting set up, because it'll turn like a little jelly. I mean, it's jelly looking to start with, but it'll turn into like a gel, and then it'll start grabbing hold. And once it starts grabbing hold, it's gonna stay, unless you just want to tear it all apart. And it's good to have you some wet wipes so you can keep it off your hands so you can touch other stuff. Or not, you'll be Fabri-Tac'd to your project. Ask me how I found that out. First few times of you know, gluing lace, you know, I wasn't thinking about, you know, the lace is, you know, it's holy, it's real thin. Put that Fabri-Tac on it, just did like this right here. Went and picked up the next piece and the lace was stuck to my fingers because I had Fabri-Tac all over them. So that's why it pays to get you some of these little silicone spatulas. This was actually like some kind of makeup thing. I got it at the Dollar Tree, and then, like I said, you know, and I'll say this 100 times, Gela Destinelli had it on her channel. This is, you know, regular old kitchen spatula. You stick it down, and then you'll wipe it off, and then you'll go back over it and just wipe it off every time you use it. Because, you know, even though it's a silicone, that will adhere to it. And the next thing you know, your little spatula will be stuck to your project right along with your lace. Or you'll think you're sticking it down and you go to press it and pull it up and your lace comes off because it's stuck to your spatula. Alrighty, I think that is going to work. Yes. Okay, so now we got our cover sealed up. And I'm trying to put a good little bend on it before I come on. So I didn't want to see y'all having watch me fight these envelopes to fold them, especially with the burlap on it. So there we go. That's going to be our cover with our closures. Like that. It's going to be quite pretty. I'm trying my best not to pull on it no more than necessary, but I do want it kind of evened up here. I'll just let it hang and dangle. Leave it alone, woman, before you do mess it up. Alright, so I'm running into a little issue. So I did take and put a little bit of vintage photo just around the edge of this. It's just a wood plank that I got from Hobby Lobby. So I'm wanting to put this here, and I'm going to have to put this on this journal before I sew the kit into it, the signature, because I'm afraid once I sew the signature in it and I get to bulking it up that it's going to be rounded and I can't glue that down. So I'm going to go ahead and it's going to hang over a bit, which that's fine because I'm going to have lace sticking out. You know, it'll go, it'll match, it'll be okay. So I'm just going to put that pretty much right here in the center like that, and I'm thinking about putting some of those little blings in the flower centers. That's what I'm thinking about doing. So I'm just going to take and put Fabri-Tac on this as well, because it is wood and it will hold wood, and it is going on fabric. And I want to put this on there with a bunch of Fabri-Tac on it. And it's one of those wood veneer pieces. That's pretty much all it is. Just make sure you go around the edges real good with it. Because once I get this down on it, I'm going to leave this cover alone for about a good day or so. Let this get set up and good and dry. And I'll come back and check, make sure that it's really, you know, adhered to it. We're going to do a little pull testing and stuff, see if I can pull it off. If I can, then I'll go get me some E6000 bond glue or whatever that stuff is and put it on there with that. Or I may have to change up and do another topper, but I want this one. So we'll see what we have to come up with. I'm just going to flip it around, make sure it's right side up. I'm going to lay it down there. Put it out in the center as I'm going to get it, and we're just going to press it down. And then I'm going to take and put my inker. Look yonder. I found a pocket from that rose journal that we did underneath that thing. Ain't that something? That's all right. Like I said, I saved some of them bits to do the birds and the rose under it. No wonder I didn't have enough pockets after I calculated up. I had to make another. So I was calculating up off camera what I had and what I didn't have and what I needed and such like that for that journal. And I was like, well, I thought I had enough pockets, and I wound up having to make one more pocket. Well, that right there's the reason why, because, you know, I put that down with Fabri-Tac, that rose bit, and forgot and left it underneath my inker. See, it's a happy surprise. You find all kinds of happy surprise. Well, now I got, you know, that's one less item I got to make for that other journal then, ain't it? All right, so I'm just going to take this board and all, put it over here to the side. Because now what I want, and I'm going to make sure that my ribbons are laid out straight and they're not going to be pulled either which way. And then I'm going to take and set this right on top of that and let it sit here for a day or so. Oh, that's pretty heavy, and that'll keep it in pretty good contact. And then I'm going to go ahead and start putting my lace bits on my pages. Let me get me another glue board. I'm gonna stick that over here on my face because that's going to irritate me until I get up and put it where it goes. Alrighty, let's get this bits here going. Alright, so what I was thinking was doing every other page. There's 15 when you fold it up front and back, you know, like when you turn it through, it would be 15. Actually, there's 15 long pages, but when you turn it front and back, it would be 30. So then you have 15 pieces every other page that you could put on there. That's my thinking. And I think I'm going to keep me a piece of paper towel. And I'm just going to take one page at a time here. And we're going to do it to it. So I'm going to do the front, I'm going to do like the first half. And hopefully, you know, you'll get the gist of what I'm doing. And let me fix the camera just a little bit here so you can see, because I'll pull it to me. And it may be on an angle, I'm sorry about that, but I'll pull it to me so I can see where the glues are going and that. So I always just, you know, you don't really have to do this because, like I said, you can take a soapy towel, washcloth, baby wipes, whatever. I'm just doing it so that it won't, you know, glue down to my mat. And most of the time I'll run about a good 1/4 inch away from the side of it is what I'll do. And I'll just do right down about a 1/4 inch away from the side. And then I'll come right back up with just a little thin strip. And that's what I'm going to do. And it'll catch it because, you know, it's lace. It'll catch it. And I folded my papers up in half before I done this. And they may not lay flat for me. So you just kind of hold it down. And this lace is stretchy. So I'm just going to hold it down until it catches. And I'm going to take my little spatula, just smooth it out. Get me a wipe. Wipe that spatula off. And I mean that, because, you know, you would have it all over your fingers because it'll seep through that lace until, you know, it dries. And see, and then look on the back side, look at that. You can't even tell that you put it on there. That's why I love the Fabri-Tac. You can't even tell it's on the paper. Love it. Alrighty, so I'm just going to take one good more little strip to make sure that that is smeared out and here down. And what I do is once I do one side, I'll take and flip it over like this, and I'll line them up on the front side of my desk and let them dry, and then I'll go back and do the other side. So I won't do this one, so I'm going to flip that one over because we're doing every other page. So it'll be every other page on the front side and every other page on the back side. Like I said, about a good 1/4 inch, right at, you know, just start at the top and go down. And you don't, you know, just right up to the edge. You don't have to go over or whatever. And if you do go over, it's all right. You can wipe it up. No big deal. So then I got this honey looking lace. Oh, love it. I got that from Temu. And I got this black lace that kind of, I thought it looked like a bee. So I was like, that would be perfect on here. Quit talking about it before I mess up and not glue my lace down. That's what's going to happen. So then you can hold one end with it and you get you another little spatula bit. And then you can keep your fingers clean. I don't know. I've always had this deal about gotta have my hands clean. If my hands are dirty, I gotta get up and go wash them. It drives me nuts. Especially with glue and dealing with papers and that. So I just take the big one and just smush it down. Do it a couple of times, back and forth. Make sure that it's adhered and it'll be good. See, can't even tell it's on there. And if there's any bits hanging over, if that bothers you, you can take and snip it after it dries. Don't do it while it's wet because you might move it. But after it dries, yeah, you can take snip them little bits off. But see that? I ain't even going to worry about that. So I'm going to lay it over here and let it dry. Should I put it this way? Let me flip them back the other way before I mess up and start gluing papers together. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to mess up and start gluing papers together. Let's just lay it up here to the front. Let's slide this back a little bit. And for those of you that are watching that know how to do this, you know, I'm doing this because someone asked me to show them, you know, like the measurement of the lace, how long a piece they need, the width of it, and it don't really matter. I mean, you know, you can put just a little bit of slim piece, you know, half of that on there, just whatever you want to put on it, honey. I mean, it is your journal, and if you plan on selling it or whatever, you know, and if someone has specifically asked, you know, do this or that, then, you know, you would want to adhere to kind of what, you know, your customer had asked you to do. But, you know, in making it, it's yours. Do what you want to with it. Have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Just have fun with it and dress it up. So see where I'm starting here? About a 1/4 inch away from the side. And I'm just running it down, not all the way to the end, not all the way to the side of the paper. And that is enough. See that strip of glue there? I don't know if you can see or not. I hope you can. Trying to get it where it glares. But see, I mean, that is all it takes. You don't have to put a whole bottle on there, which sometimes, you know, I'll get running my mouth, get carried away. But, so I'm going to hold this piece because this is a stretchy glue, or a stretchy lace. And I'm just going to stretch it out and hold it there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tack it a little bit in the middle so it catches. And there we go. And I'm going to take and run it down and see, and that straightens right up. That's it. Whoops. See, that's why you keep your fingers out of it, because you will get glued to the paper as well. But that's pretty good about, you know, about how you want to go down the edge of it. About a good 1/4 inch away from the edge of the paper, so that way when you do put your lace on it and you smush it down, it doesn't spread out. And especially if you have already put your signature in your journal and sewed it in, and you're trying to put lace on it, because it will smush out of the front side if you get it too close to the edge and on the ends, and it'll catch your other pages. But yeah, I love that. I think that's so pretty. I'm just going to smooth this bit out right here just a little bit. It kind of rippled up on me. So, yep, I like that a bit. So just keep rotating every other one. That's all we're doing. So I wanted to show you guys how to close up that, if you did do saw this in the future, or if you were following along with how to put the envelopes together and wrap them with, you know, with fabric of your choice, or if you overlapped it with paper and wrapped them, you could do the same thing with paper. Like real pretty 12x12 scrapbooking paper. It'd be great to wrap one of those envelopes with, and have finished edge corners and put them together, you know, however you want to do it. So like I said, you know, it's junk journal, and the reason why it's called junk journal is because you're making things out of leftover bits and bobs. Oh, I'm gonna cover it that bee. Dang it. That's all right. And we got yellow lace, and you can see him through it. Let me see. Oh yeah, we'll scooch it over a little bit, buddy. Look, he's hiding under the lace, gonna come out and get you. That little BB there. What is so funny, y'all, is I've said this in an earlier video, excuse me, when I was talking about doing a bee journal. That is the funniest thing is, you know, I am allergic to bees. I mean, like, definitely allergic to bees. So if I get bee stung, I have to have an EpiPen, like, right then. Or my throat swells shut and all this and that. And severe allergic to them. And we'll go into severe anaphylactic shock. So here I am collecting up all this bee bits and bobs and just all and over bees. But see, look, he's sticking out for him, and I think that's cute. So yeah, I'm allergic to bees, and here I am busting out a bee journal. Oh, that's gonna be cute. Look. Now see, this is the reason why I said, look at that. Now don't that look like a little buzzy bee there? I think that is so cute. Alright, so this is that scrapbook paper where the back of it is white. And I said I was going to cut this thicker scrapbook paper down, this cardstock. So I'm going to put one of these on either side of this once we get the journal sewn in. And glue it in a U shape and have us a pocket on either side of that to cover up that white. And then I'll probably ink around whatever is not covered up all that well. But yeah, that's the plan for the back of that page. If you're seeing it and wondering, well, you know, everything else is inked up or colored up or printed something on it besides this. Well, that's what I decided I was going to do it. And I wanted this on there because he was a little gold bee. He just looked like he had some little blings on him. I thought he was cute. And I just went through and counted how many pages it was. And then I did the cutting of the lace without even, you know, I was like, I know it's 8.5, so I don't really have to go through the book to measure where I want it and this, that, and other. So I just sat down here with the ruler that's on my mat and just, you know, 8.5, rolled it out 8.5 and cut off and stacked them up alternating colors until I got to 15. That's pretty much how I come about where it's going in the journal, to be honest with you. And I just like, well, I'm just going to put alternating on every other page. We'll have a piece of lace on every other page on the front and every other page in the back. Yeah, no rhyme or reason. I'm just glad that it worked out that this piece is on that. I just think that's plumb cute. And I may have put that over just a tad bit much, but that's okay. That's in the middle of the journal. It'll stick out anyways. But yeah, isn't that sweet? I think that's cute. Yeah, I did put that over a bit much. That's okay. Yep, see, even on this thinner scrapbook paper, see, you can't even tell it's on there. Love that Fabri-Tac. Well, you know, besides the glue bit that I glued right there on accidental. But yeah, it's because if you're using the white glue, what is it? Barely Arts glue or art glitter glue. The reptile glue, people I've seen use that in journaling and stuff because it grabs quick, but it's also a water-based glue, so it would leave the ripples in the in your paper. That's why I said I may switch all over to Fabri-Tac. So, but now I did hear that Barely Art glue, I did hear that it handles putting down vellum really well. Where, like, you know, you can't, like, see through it or whatever. I don't know. I'll have to get me some of that and try it. And we'll get it and try it out on here. So, maybe a trial and error channel. But, you know, that's most of my crafting anyways. How I come up with how things work and stuff like that, you know. just trial and error. 25 years of trial and error. You'll figure out how to do something right every once in a while. Hopefully. If you ain't figured it out by now, then, which, you know, like I said, I'm teaching myself how to stamp. Taught myself how to make the mini books by watching YouTube. Miss what's her name? Rosa Kelly. Yeah, she's really good on the mini books and stuff like that with the measurements, and I mean, just does it like, you know, she can put a video up in 30 minutes and look like she, you know, she done it in her sleep. But I'm a little more particular with making sure I, you know, with my measurements and that. But yeah, Miss Rosa Kelly's who I watched learn how to make mini books, and then mostly Gail Augustinelli's who I watched to learn how to do journaling. And I've since, you know, ventured out and, you know, because everybody's got different styles, you know what I'm saying? I mean, my style may be a little more cleaner, plainer to some people, because, you know, it's not, and I have got, you know, junk papers, like I printed off some, like I said, those newspaper papers and stuff like that. But, you know, if I find a pretty kit like this, I've got 75 to 80 12 by 12 boxes full of 12 by 12 paper pads. So if I find a pretty kit and I'm like, well, I want to add a few more pages to it, because I like to have anywhere between 12 to 15 pages in a signature for a single signature journal. So I'm going to go pull out my scrapbooking hoard that's going to match my journal bits. That's what I'm going to do. And I know, you know, not everybody has a scrapbooking hoard like I do, and I don't have the biggest one by no means, I'm telling you, but I do have a bit, because like I said, I have been doing this for scrapbooking or mini book making for 25 years off and on. And so I said, well, I'll get me a journal bit, and I've got scrapbooking paper that matches that perfect, or it'll go with that, you know. And I'm going to take it, and whatever cutoffs I have from my scrapbooking paper, I'll take and make my tags and pockets and tuck spots and stuff like that, so it don't hurt my feelings when I cut my paper up. So that's really the reason why I got that big scrapbooking hoard, because I buy that pretty paper, and it just kills me to cut it up for, you know, what I deem to be not a good, worthy reason. But, you know, what's the point of buying it and just setting it and keeping it in a box? Nobody's looking at it doing that. Nobody's, you know, appreciating it, putting it and keeping it hoarded up in a box. But it's, you know, I know I got it. So that's my defense. I know I got it, you know. All right, I don't need to put one on that. Quit talking and pay attention. All right, so this is the last page that I'm going to glue lace on the video. I'll do the back side part of it off the video. And like I said, you know, so like this part here will have lace on it, so when I'm saying every other page, so like this one I have lace, so I'll flip over, this one won't, so then the next one it comes up will have it. So I think the way it's going to work out, that every single page is going to have some lace, but not on both sides, is what I was trying to do. Alright, glue that down. Okay. Yep, oh, that's so pretty. Now see, now I'm looking at it. Now what I want to do is I want to take and put another one on this side. And that's going to mess up my whole thing. So that's why you can't look at it. You cut them, because you know it's 8.5. You cut them at that. And you decide you want to do every other page, and you leave it alone. Because then you'll get to looking at it, and you're going to throw your lace bits off. They'll all be jumped up in one place. Alright, so then I'm going to let that dry, and then once that dries, I'll flip them over back in, you know, in order, because this here is going to be the middle of the journal. So then when I flip them over, this will be looking up, And like I said, this has one. I'll flip the page. This won't. We'll flip the page. And the next one it's going to be here. We'll have a piece of lace on it. And it'll be the black lace. And then that way it just alters back and forth through the book. And it's going to be pretty. Alrighty, I hope that answered anyone's questions of, you know, how I come about with the size of lace, you know, like the length of it to cover the page. And that's just, you know, your basic page measurement, just whatever. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I'll just actually take the lace and be like, oh yeah, that looks good here, and just cut it, doing it like that with the journal together, sewed in together. And then I was like, well, I don't have a book weight besides Mr. Holtz's handy dandy scissors, you know, so it is a little easier for me to sew well, you can sew it, not sew, but glue the lace on the pages with the journal apart. A lot of people will take and sew it in together and then put the lace on and then do their decorative bits. But for me, where it's, you know, bulked up together, it's hard for me to hold it on, and then I'm worried about gluing my pages together and all that mess. So for me, I found that it's easier to glue my lace bits on before I sew my signature into my journal cover. That's just personal preference. There's no right or wrong. You can do what you want to. It's just easier for me in my hands, and personal preference. That's all that is about it. So just whatever you prefer to do with you and your journal and your lace, honey, you do it. You bought it. You do it how you want to. And that's just that's the way we gonna leave it. You went and spent the money on it. You bought it. You can do what you want to with it. Alrighty, so I didn't want to keep you too long. I just wanted to show you, because I had a few questions about how to finish those folders, closing up and putting a tie on them. Now you can take and not put any ribbon or tie in between them. I just did that because I don't have to worry about keeping up with the tie, you know, being free. You know, I don't have to worry about losing it. I know it's glued in the front of it. Now you can take, and I probably should have before I glued this topper on it. Once you get them together and you glue them together, you can take and run it through your sewing machine. Now this burlap might give your sewing machine a fit, but I think that, you know, you can just run it a big fat zigzag all the way across there. And if you would like to, you can take and do, it's like, I think it's called a leather stitch, but I'm not sure on that. So, like, you'll put it here and pull it through and then wrap it over the top like that. So you'll take your needle and you'll start here, pull it out here, and bring your thread across over the top. Put it back through and bring it over. Does that make sense? So I think it's called a leather stitch, but I'm not sure on that. But yeah, so that's how my journal's gonna look. Oh yes, I'm gonna love that, y'all. Look at that, just with the lace on there. Shut your face, that's so pretty. I am gonna love it. Like I said, I wanted to put this piece on here because I knew once I got them pages in it and started decorating it up, it's gonna be a fatty my fatso, and it ain't gonna round up because that's on it. So we definitely needed, you know, 4 things of tie to tie it down with. I tell you that. It's gonna be pretty though. Listen at me bragging on myself. Anyways, let me get off here. Leave y'all alone. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope I had helpful hints and tricks for you today with how to go about putting your file folder journal covers together and finish the glue and edge on it, and how to put down your lace, and how just sometimes it's, you know, it'll have a print on it and I'm like, oh, I don't want to cover that up, so I'll skip that page and go to the next one. It's just that easy. And basically this one here is like, you know, like I said, it was going to have folded papers was 30, so I was like, I need 15 pieces of lace every other page. There you go. So it's no rhyme or reason, just whatever you feel that you want to do on it. And you can do like 2 or 3 in the front, 2 or 3 in the back, just whatever you feel like doing, honey. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for joining me and watching me craft along. And I greatly appreciate all the subscribers and the comments. You all are so nice to me. So I hope you all have a good evening. Enjoy your crafting. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. And come back and we'll finish this journal in a day or so. Hopefully tomorrow. Good night, y'all.